Hachette Audio presents The Memo: What Women of Color Need to Know to Secure a Seat at the Table. Written and read by Minda Harts.
Dedicated to my mom, my first best friend. Preface. In 2012, I was living in Los Angeles and trying to cope with the death of an unarmed black teenager named Trayvon Martin. I worked in a predominantly white environment, and no one in the office was talking about his death. Up until that point, I had never seen myself as an activist. Not in a Rosa Parks type of way. I did launch a grassroots campaign called Broker Vote to get more middle-class and working-class people to the polls during President Obama's second campaign. But that was the extent of my activism. I guess you could say I had been going through life with my head down. Black women are often told to do just that, especially in the workplace. Even though I saw bias all around me, I knew I could never rock the boat and speak out on it. I mean, who would care or do anything about it? But something about Trayvon's death touched me at my core. Maybe it's because I have two younger brothers and plenty of black male cousins, and I know how easily one of them could be in the same situation. I'm sure his death caused many of us to question how we could help. Then out of the blue, one of our administrative assistants asked me to join her for a march that was taking place in honor of Trayvon. She also asked if I wanted to buy an oversized hoodie that had Trayvon's face on it. And as she walked away, she said, "I figured you were the only one I could ask." Now, I can only speculate on what she meant. And I joked around later with friends about this white woman giving me a Trayvon Martin hoodie. Did she do that because I was the only black woman in the office? We, people of color, always question why others do some of the things they do. But I know she meant well. Now, you're probably wondering what the story has to do with the memo, but it has everything to do with how I came to find my voice in advocating for women of color. I ended up going to that march, and there were tons of white men and women marching, and it hit me. We need to be at the front lines of our own issues. I still wasn't sure what that meant for me, but I was constantly questioning where I fit into this advocacy equation. Fast forward a year and some change, and I was working on the East Coast. The verdict came out. George Zimmerman was not guilty. I cried that night as if I could feel the pain of Trayvon's parents. And mixed in with those emotions, I was going through my own personal hell of working in an environment that was less than equitable. It was on that night that I realized I had to do something. My advocacy wouldn't be on the front lines with the Black Lives Matter movement. My advocacy would be inside the workplace, advocating for women that looked like me. I had to fight systemic racism in a way that was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?